Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. This morning, we give you a piece of breaking news from RT.com. How a C-list actress and A-list money grabber, Meghan Markle, become the world's most in-demand speaker. But I call the title is, Even Meghan with A-list mask can make money because her nature is Z-list. PR experts have revealed that Markle is about to become the most sought-after public speaker on the planet. Her fee per event is estimated to be around $1 million. The Duchess of Sussex is also reported to be the world's most sought-after public speaker. But why? She knows how to make everything about herself and rake in cash, but what pearls of wisdom can she possibly offer? Clearly, Meghan Markle is a disturbing new breed of leaders. Not someone who has achieved anything of note, nor broken down any barriers. Neither does she have a prodigious talent. What she does possess is a steely willingness to do anything that makes money. A lot was made of Markle's recent speech at the Girl Up Leadership Summit, as her YouTube figures were far higher than those of Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, who also spoke. Whatever you think of the former First Ladies, it would take the devotion of a zealous fan to equate them to the Duchess of Sussex, let alone prefer her over them. One reason people could be tuning in was the hope that she might wash some dirty laundry. That is, does she hate William and Kate? Is it true she made their daughter cry by manically shouting at her during a wedding rehearsal? Or why has Harry or her son never met her father, who regularly appears in the media asking to be part of their lives? Why did she invite Oprah Winfrey, David Beckham, and George Clooney to her wedding, but not a single member of her family, apart from her mother? Besides that, on a trip to Africa with Harry in 2019, she told a British documentary crew that life had been a struggle since becoming a royal. It was a ridiculous comment, but the lightning rod was that it was uttered while meeting people who barely have any possessions and worry about where their next meal is coming from. Quite rightly, she was pilloried for it. Since then, things have changed as Markle has realized she can't work the royal angle to her benefit. They can't make any serious money, as the Queen keeps a firm grip on the family's commercial enterprises. While they live in grand palaces and never do any sort of conventional work, they don't have tens of millions to splash about on indulgent whims. And finally, Meghan thought she had joined the global club of which Winfrey, Beckham, and Clooney are all members, one with global fame, but also the wealth to live on their terms. The royal family doesn't have that. The men wear boring suits, the women have to shun lavish dresses for clothes that aren't too expensive, and they all drive sensible cars. There's no decadence, as quite simply, the money comes with rules. So Markle and Harry walked out of the world's most prestigious club to go it alone. They cited their desire to have a normal life and privacy, and raise their son Archie away from all the ceremonies. How does that equate with standing up in front of an audience in exchange for a check featuring a string of zeros? What could Meghan possibly share apart from anecdotes about life on the set of her mediocre TV show Suits? Pompous British Society magazine Tatler wrote, "The Duchess is well versed on topics such as racial justice, but it's hard to see how that claim can be validated." On the other side of the coin are those paying her. Her speaking agency, Harry Walker, is a business, which exists to turn a profit. But it's the corporate bosses paying the $1 million fee who should be embarrassed. Most of them, who are men, will be bereft of any glamour. They have money, but they don't have the X factor, as that can't be bought. Bruce Springsteen, Colin Kaepernick, Beyonce, and Barack Obama, for example, all have it and don't adjust their compass for money. But Markle is exploiting a worrying trend in society, which used to be the domain of low-rent celebrities. She's trying to use the formula far higher up the food chain. She's neither rich nor exceptional, but is leveraging her undeniably high profile to portray herself as something she isn't, someone worth listening to. The disappointment is that many younger and easily influenced people are falling for it, believing this to be someone who can offer guidance and wisdom. Charlatans like her are being enabled to masquerade as individuals of distinction. It feels like we're in a race to the bottom, where any sort of integrity or dedication is deemed worthless compared with the great good that is celebrity. Markle is cheap, tacky, and full of sparkles. However, all that glitters is in gold. Indeed, Aubrey Hanson from CCN.com also mocked Meghan. Her title on the site, Meghan Markle's speeches won't help her billion-dollar brand. Meanwhile, Aubrey said, it seems that after a couple of decidedly iffy public speeches, Meghan Markle is set to become an all-conquering force in the public speaking world. Well, according to a PR expert, the reasons for her undeniable success? Her message on topics such as Black Lives Matter and mental health. Speaking to The Sun, Mark Burkowski claims she's very much on the message with Black Lives Matter, the cancel culture, and issues related to mental health. This is a big question for us. I tend to believe that many within the media bubble are getting carried away by the news surrounding Meghan Markle and her recent public speaking engagements. First of all, delivering a speech to an undetermined audience over Skype or Zoom is an entirely different proposition to stepping on stage and addressing an audience that has paid thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars to hear what you have to say. The Express claims that Meghan's speech at the Virtual Grow Up Summit has been seen over 100,000 times. That's fantastic. But it's also worth bearing in mind that there are videos on YouTube of sleeping dogs comically falling off couches that have garnered over 1 million views. While Meghan Markle undoubtedly has her fair share of fans, is her audience anywhere near broad enough to make paying her the kind of money being mentioned a worthwhile venture for companies? Let's be honest, the people who want to hear Meghan talk aren't paying tens of thousands of dollars to do so. This isn't Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, or Rudy Giuliani. The profile of the listener who attends those kinds of talks isn't paying to listen to Meghan Markle lecture them on diversity or how to deal with mental health issues. In fact, Meghan's Grow Up Summit speech actively attacked many of the people who routinely spend top dollar attending public speaking events. When you attempt to rally the troops against those in the halls and corridors of power, you shouldn't then expect those same people to later pay thousands of dollars to hear you vilify them. What about the motivational speaker circuit? I've heard Meghan's recent mutterings described as inspirational. The problem is that the inspirational speakers market is frequented by people who are more engaging and captivating, and all have one crucial advantage over Meghan Markle. They've actually achieved things. Lee Brown, Eric Thomas, we're talking two guys here who have fought back respectively from being labeled as having a learning disability and being homeless as a young teenager. Brown became a member of the Ohio House of Representatives. At the same time, Eric Thomas has worked as an academic advisor to disadvantaged youth while developing an undergrad retention program for high-risk minority students. And that's before I even mentioned Tony Robbins. Sheesh. Meghan ain't toppling him on any list. His talk videos routinely see 3 to 4 million views for those keeping score. In The Sun, Burkowski is quoted as saying, "In the short term, this is a billion-dollar brand. Meghan could earn at least £200,000 per speech, but if it was a keynote big speech for one of the big banks, many hundreds of thousands of pounds. Again, the big banks are the mostly white, middle-aged, and elderly males that Meghan is railing against in her speeches we've seen thus far. Why would they pay money to be talked down to? Greta Thunberg already has that market well and truly covered." The kind of money that Burkowski is talking about would place Meghan Markle far above speakers like Richard Branson, Al Gore, Rudy Giuliani, Condoleezza Rice, and Tony Blair. Is Meghan on that level? I'll leave you to make up your own mind on that. For myself, I see currently Meghan and Harry are getting a lot of publicity and attention from the paparazzi because Meghan or her friends alert them to photo opportunities. But would they be considered a power couple? No. Since stepping back from their royal duties, there's been less coverage of the Sussexes, and in my opinion, it will continue to dwindle. As time goes on, more and more people are seeing Meghan as someone not to be trusted, and Harry has lost the popularity he once had. Plus, I think Meghan is indeed taking advantage of the royal name but claims to be independent. She and Harry are both thick-faced. I believe that the world will not want to hear what they say, and no one wants to pay to listen to those freeloaders. Therefore, they will wither and drift away into oblivion. The royal family needed to make sure these hypocrites were not given titles as well as making money. And you, do you agree with my opinion? Or do you agree with the above views? Please leave a comment below to express your views on this issue and we'll discuss it together. If you like this video, please share it with anyone who needs it and like it like you. And remember to subscribe to the Sussex Daily News channel version 2 to get more videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.